They never taught you this in school. Not in science class, not in health class, not even in spiritual instruction. Yet every time you move your hand, you're emitting an energy, delicate, imperceptible, but quantifiable. An energy that can heal, attract, shield, or dissipate in silence. And right now, yours is probably dormant. Here's what you weren't made aware of. Your hands contain over 177,000 nerve endings. A biological web so sensitive, it can detect shifts in temperature, vibration, or even electromagnetic fields. But it doesn't end there. According to a branch of physics stemming from Einstein-Cartan theory, when you move your hands, especially in circular motions, you produce what are known as torsion fields. These subtle spirals of energy twist through space and interact with both matter and consciousness. Now consider this, the golden ratio, nature's divine blueprint, appears in the structure of your hand. From the length of your palm to the curve of your fingers, your body was fashioned to align with the same code that shapes galaxies, ocean waves, sunflower seed patterns, and pyramids. Your hands were never mere tools. They're antennae, resonators, ceremonial tools built to tap into energy the world neglected how to use. This isn't symbolic. When ancient civilizations raised their hands in prayer, blessing, or healing, they weren't staging spiritual theatrics. They were activating biological power. In Tai Chi, the hands guide key life force with precision. In Ayurveda, the left palm receives, while the right transmits. In pranic healing, the hands scan and mend subtle bodies. Across these practices, movement is never accidental. It's conscious, directional, intentional. In pranic healing, the hands scan and mend subtle bodies. Across these practices, movement is never accidental. It's conscious, directional, intentional. But somewhere along modernity's rise, this knowledge vanished under layers of mechanistic thinking and materialism. We began to view hands as mere implements. We lost the ritual. We lost the power. Today, you're going to rediscover it. In this video, we'll explain why clockwise movements open energetic circuits and why reversing them closes those channels. You'll see how emotional charge, mental focus, and deliberate intention form a psychic trinity that turns your hand into a healing instrument. And you'll learn genuine techniques to sense objects through touch, perform ethereal massage, and direct energy without uttering a word. This isn't a lesson in theory. It's a roadmap to tangible energetic mastery hidden in plain sight. A secret not only of mysticism, but of your own anatomy. You weren't born disconnected. You were born electric, magnetic, divine. The question is, are you ready to switch it back on? Your hands aren't an accident of biology. They're sacred architecture, encoded with geometry and charged with a purpose that modern science is merely beginning to explore. Your hands aren't an accident of biology. They're sacred architecture, encoded with geometry and charged with a purpose that modern science is merely beginning to explore. Inside every finger, beneath your skin, lives a silent mechanism working in perfect harmony with universal law. But unless you activate it with intention, that potential remains dormant, like a key that never turns its lock. Let's start with the blueprint. The golden ratio appears in galaxies, nautilus shells, pine cones, DNA, and in your own hand, the length of each finger bone. The ratio between palm and fingers, the arcs traced when you extend your hand, all mirror this universal constant of roughly 1.618. This isn't just aesthetics. It's functional geometry. When you raise your hand with purpose, you activate an antenna that channels not only the energy within you, but also the energy around you. Enter torsion fields. In physics, torsion refers to spin, and spiral or circular hand movements generate subtle vortices invisible to the eye. Yet they interact with matter and intention. Think of them as projectors of will. They don't just touch, they transmit, depending on the energy you pair with your motion. Mental clarity, emotional resonance, and conscious awareness. You either strengthen your field or weaken it. This triad is everything. If your thoughts stray, your signal is weak. If your emotions are muted, your energy is dull. If your awareness wanders, your gesture remains empty. But when mind, heart, and presence align, you create what mystics call an energetic current. It moves through you, not metaphorically, but physically. You'll feel it, you can send it, you can amplify it. That's why pranic healing, tai chi, and mudras aren't mere esoterica. They're subtle body technologies. In pranic healing, a trained practitioner can sweep away blocked energy simply by moving their hands. The palms, naturally sensitive, can either give or receive energy based on position and motion. Left hand draws in, right hand sends out. This polarity isn't mysticism, it's your wiring. And here's what many overlook. You don't need to be a master healer. You just need awareness. Every comfort, wave, point, push, or embrace is shaping energy fields. The only question is whether you do it unconsciously or with intent. The moment you shift to intentional activation, your hands become sacred instruments, the bridge between the tangible and the intangible, the self and the cosmos. Long before alphabets or scriptures, our ancestors left handprints on cave walls, red ochre palms over 30,000 years old, standing as humanity's first symbols. Not words, not tools, just the imprint of presence. I was here. I touched this world. I carried energy. Across cultures, the hand remained a universal glyph, not of labor, but of power. In Egypt, the open palm symbolized life-giving forces, and certain mudras in sacred rituals commanded divine harmony. In Buddhist art, bodhisattvas hold their hands in precise positions, each finger placed deliberately to channel peace, fearlessness, healing, or wisdom. In Christian iconography, Christ's raised hand forms a specific blessing gesture, symbolic of creation through divine intention. Ancient mosaics don't just show halos, they depict radiant fields emanating from hands. Even in silence, the hand speaks the soul's language. In Hinduism, each finger corresponds to an element: thumb to fire, index to air, middle to ether, ring to earth, pinky to water. Touching thumb to index in the jnana mudra closes an energetic loop, bringing wisdom and connection. Your hand becomes a ritual tool, a microcosm of the universe. Consider the spiral, etched into Newgrange, carved into Maurimoko, painted on native pottery. The outward spiral signifies expansion and creation. The clockwise motion in healing mirrors this. The counterclockwise spiral pulls inward, introspection, absorption, dissolution. This isn't coincidence, it's embodied cosmology. When you consciously trace these spirals, you're replicating galaxy rotations, DNA coils, subatomic spins. You synchronize with creation's pulse. This is what they never taught you. Your gestures echo ancient rituals encoded in your blood. Very movement, every curve, every trace in the air matters. You don't have to invent meaning. It's always been there, encoded in your biology, alive in myth, resonant in memory. Your hands have always been sacred. The real question is, will you honor them as such? So how do you begin? How do you move from mere use to activation? The answer is simple, but precise. It starts with attention, slowing down to sense the energy already flowing through you. Step 1. Awareness through sensation. Sit quietly. Bring your palms face to face and slowly move them apart and back together, as if compressing and expanding a magnetic field. Don't imagine it. Feel it. That subtle resistance, the tingle or warmth, that's your biofield awakening. If your mind drifts, anchor it in the center of your palms. Let sensation guide you. Step 2. Directionality. Clockwise circles align with outward energy flow. Creation, expansion, transmission. Use this to project intention. Calming someone, charging water, or releasing stress. Counterclockwise pulls inward. Gathering, grounding, absorption. Use it to receive insight, center emotions, or draw energy into depleted areas. With this awareness, your hands become regulators, balancing your inner world as surely as breathwork or mantra. Step 3. Focus. Your hands amplify whatever you attach to them. Intention, emotion, thought. This psychic trinity activates energy at its peak. Vague thoughts yield weak signals. Numb emotions produce dull energy. Distracted awareness renders gestures empty. But when all three align, mind focused, heart engaged, presence unwavering, even tracing a spiral in the air becomes a command to the universe. Try this. Close your eyes and recall a memory of deep peace. Let it fill you. Then hold your left hand open to the sky and rotate your right hand clockwise just above your heart. Breathe with each movement. Feel the current respond, not in your imagination, but in your skin. The warmth, the pulse, the shift in mood. You've opened a current. This is the core of ethereal massage, moving energy by vibration rather than contact. With practice, your hands become ever more sensitive, not only to fields but to objects carrying history. This is psychometry, touching an item and sensing its emotional residue, its energetic imprint. It may sound fantastical, but it's refined perception, a real skill, honed by trust and repetition. This power was never meant for the future, or only after years of study. It's in your bones, your blood, your fingertips, right now. The only missing ingredient is your attention, for energy isn't concealed. You are. You were never meant to feel powerless or disconnected from creation's invisible pulse. That energy within you was never lost, merely neglected beneath a world deaf to subtlety. But you're remembering now. Your hands are not empty. They are ancient instruments of transformation, portals crafted with sacred geometry and charged with over 177,000 nerve endings, aligned with galaxies, spirals, and DNA's coils. They're alive with potential. And now you know the truth. Every movement matters. Every gesture is a language. Every intention echoes in the field. For too long, we've separated science from spirit, body from soul, intention from reality. But that divide was never real, only imagined. The fields you create, the spirals you trace, the warmth you feel when you focus, they aren't illusions. They're proof that energy follows attention, that the body responds to will, that the universe listens when you move with clarity and purpose. So the question isn't, does this work? But will you use it? Will you sit with your hands in silence and sense the electric space between them? Will you trace spirals in the air and trust the currents they awaken? Will you bless your water with a gesture, soothe a friend with your palm, or draw light into your chest when darkness encroaches? You don't need robes, crystals, or titles, only what you already have. A body that remembers and a soul ready to awaken. Begin now. Start with one motion, one breath, one spiral. Then watch, listen, and feel what shifts. This isn't a new power. It's the oldest, the most sacred, the most intimate one they never taught you. And if something stirred within you today, if your palms tingled, your breath deepened, your awareness sharpened, that's no coincidence. That's recognition. Something ancient within you, remembering its own message. So raise your hand, not to ask for power, but to activate it. Continue this journey inward. Let your awakening guide the way.